Okay, guys, let me know you can hear me and you can see the screen. Put a 1 in the chat, please. Okay, I think we got a delay in me talking and it reaching you for some reason. Okay, so JR is here. Who else is here? Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know. We've got some people here. Otherwise, it's just you and me, JR. But we're going ahead anyway. Okay, so the purpose of this was basically from a discussion on the WhatsApp group yesterday. Okay, I thought I'd better do this because people seem to be confused and I want to remove that confusion. Okay. The thing is, a lot of people tend to look at creators like me when I'm creating a whole bunch of tools, like how do they all work together? Well, the truthful answer is they're not all supposed to work together. We've got different products for different strategies, and I never laid out a plan like I'm going to build this list of 20 softwares and this is how they're all going to work together in a workflow. It doesn't work like that. Okay, if I want to do YouTube engagement ads, I've built a little app for that. If I want to do copywriting, I've built a software for that as well. If I want to do PDF strategy for selling PDF books and creating the books and that kind of stuff, I've got a tool for that. I've got a tool for different things that I use in my own business. Okay, so it's kind of built along a journey, and that journey is based on my own journey of what I am doing at that particular time. If I find that I could do with building a tool for a specific task or a specific project that I'm working on, I will build a tool. I'm not thinking about how does this fit into the workflow of all the other tools. Okay, I'm building tools for my journey, and then hopefully you like them too. We put them up for sale and some people purchase. But this comes up a lot, and it's been like that forever since I've been doing product creation. Now, before the no code stuff came was available, and before I learned it, which was much later than what it was available, I still had built more than 100 products, 100 softwares. There's no possible way you could fit all that into a workflow. Okay, it's just always been based on my own journey, what I needed at the time. There were times where I jump on new things that were emerging. Okay, products like VidAttack Alpha, which had a different name at the beginning. For example, where I think it was Rand Fishkin posted on Twitter, hey guys, like, do a search for this keyword, and when you see my result, click on it. I want to test something. And so people did. So he's got a big Twitter following, and it moved him up in the rankings. So when I saw that, okay, I built VidAttack Alpha so that we could do what's now called CTR manipulation. I called it search and click at that time. And the first tool was called Search and Click Commander. That was back in 2013, 2014, something like that. So I would jump on the bandwagon when something new was emerging, a new tactic, a new method was emerging. But I did do it because I wanted the tool for myself as well. Okay, so that's the first thing I need to get clear. The second thing is that I get asked a lot is about the strategies. How do we work this in the strategies? Well, the thing to note is that many of these tools have got the strategies built in. Okay, the strategies are built in for a lot of the process that happens in generating content or whatever it might be that we're doing. Okay, so the tools are built around strategies, and so often it's going to be you checkbox something to add that something into your workflow. It could be add a link to the previous article so that I can create some kind of a silo or link wheel or something if I'm doing parasite SEO. It could be a checkbox for add an FAQ at the end of this content, this article, etc. It's just checkbox stuff, but a lot of the stuff is already built in. Strategies are already there. Okay, it's just a matter of you learning and going with the workflow, which is why you will see a lot of my tools now have got numbers at the top of the steps, and it will take you through kind of a wizard to get to from the beginning to the end kind of thing. Okay, so strategies are built in. I get a lot of questions about strategies as well, because I'm building them for myself. And we are, I mean, today I've been building a lot for RankMesh, for example. I've been in base 44 where I build my own tools now. And, you know, I've had a long discussion with base 44 about how we can improve certain parts of RankMesh. I mean, I'm doing this because we're using it ourselves. Okay, so it's not just some kind of theories that popped up in build the tools. We're building tools that we're going to use ourselves. I've been training my team to do it. We've got something like 50 campaigns done in RankMesh already, but just for the first article. And then I've looked at that. I thought, okay, we can improve this. Here's how we're going to improve it. And then I go and have a conversation with an AI model. This time it was Claude. And I sort of ideated what I wanted so that we could put that into RankMesh so that we can make it better. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that happens when there's you've got a software that you're using yourself. There's always going to be evolution. Any good software is going to have that evolution. Okay. And the second thing I want to mention as well, all of the tools, when people purchase the tools and they've got full access to the tools, that means unlimited use. We do not work on credit system. Okay. There's nothing worse when you see case studies being posted on places like Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever, and you go to test the tool and you realize that you need the top tier of credits, which costs X amount, $100 per month, to be able to use it in the same way that that guy used it for his campaign, using his tool for his case study. And it looks good from what he told you, but then you look at how much is this going to cost? Okay, and it runs out of credits fast and all that kind of stuff. I build the tools so that you can use them exactly the same ways that I can use them as well. Okay, without limitations on the usage for these. Okay, especially with the no-code tools. I mean, all I'm doing with the no-code tools is I'm prompting in a very similar way that I would tell a developer features that I want added into a tool. You know, if I want to add something like a project management system inside RankMesh, if that was a developer, I would basically have a back and forth and say, okay, let's build it like this. I'm doing the same thing with the no code. The only difference is that AI understands marketing. It understands what you're trying to do, and it's much faster. Yeah, you can run into roadblocks. You can run into things breaking along the way that you have to revert or try and fix, etc. But in general, I can get things done in a few minutes, often much less. That would take maybe a developer a few hours, sometimes even a few days. Okay, so the no code stuff, although it's no code, doesn't mean it's not quality. Okay, when it can do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so who's here? So we got Mike and we got Russ and we got JR. Looks like just me and you three guys. I don't think there's anybody else here, but anyway, we'll see how we go with the replay numbers as well. Jay, I've definitely noticed more of the path the tools automatically take you on as far as workflow. I'm not quite sure I understand what that means. If you want to explain it a little bit more. Sounds interesting, but I don't fully understand what you mean. All right, anyway, what I wanted to do here was just give you a run through some of the recent tools. Okay, some of these can work together. I'm not saying that they never can work together, and we use multiple tools, and I'll show you some examples. Some good, some disappointing as far as, you know, results, etc. But you got to see the whole context sometimes when you're using these tools. Okay, so let's start with the mini site content pilot. Okay, mini site content pilot. I'm not getting into the tool. I just want to show you some examples. Okay, so if I go to launchjackingaffiliate.com. Okay, what Mini Site Content Pilot does, it creates content hubs. What is a content hub? Well, basically, it's based on a strategy that I first seen myself when Brian Dean did it. And when I started to look into it as we were building Mini Site Content Pilot, I noticed there was a whole bunch of other people using it as well, usually top tier kind of marketers. And that's why I wanted to automate it, because there's a lot of work goes into this. If you were to try and do this manually, it would take time to do this. And I'm talking not just days, I think weeks, to be able to do this. Which is why I haven't got any content hubs on my main blog, anthonyhayes.me. What I do is I tend to build mini sites so that I can build topical authority. Okay. And what do I mean by topical authority? It means that you're covering a topic so well that it builds up the topical authority of that particular site, that mini site, or if you want to do it in your main blog, you can. Okay. Why haven't I done it in my own blog? Because I won't put the AI content the way that it is done into my main site, because I've got my own strategies, I've got my own ideas, I've got my own ways of doing things, from some experience, some testing, etc., throughout the years. Okay, and some new stuff that are developing, etc., as well. So I would need to actually, for me to be able to do that with AI, I would have to do one article at a time, and I would have to be really, really, really involved. Whereas Mini Site Content Pilot can knock up these content hubs very, very quickly, can cover it in depth, but it doesn't have that personal touch. Okay. And that's something that we really need to try and build into Mini Site Content Pilot. But this stuff does rank. Okay. It does. So you can see here, I've got, if you look on the left, I've got here launch jacking fundamentals, pre-launch preparation. These are sections, okay? These are sections, and within each section, each resource is actually an article. Okay, you can see this one needs fixed. It says 4 resources. We got 1, 2. Oh, it's 4. I thought it was more. Okay, so that's got 4 articles, and so we're covering in depth, which is what people like Brian Dean do. Now, I was really surprised that I was using SEMrush or Ahrefs, and I was looking for Brian Dean Content Hub URL, because he doesn't have those within a navigation menu within backlinko.com. And when I was looking for it, I noticed he's got 26 content hubs. Okay, so if a top SEO guy like that is doing 26 content hubs, which I know will take probably for him weeks, because the amount of work he puts into every single article, then it must be something that's really working very, very well, okay, for the goals that he sets for that, whether that's to get people coming back to the website, or getting them onto a newsletter, or buying a product, whatever that end goal might be. This is a working strategy for him, because 26 content hubs, that is a lot of work. Okay, he won't be using AI for that. He will be doing that manually. Okay, so we got the different sections, we got descriptions, etc. here, and then as we click through on this, then we can see the different articles. Now look at the way we've put the articles together. This has been formatted really, really nicely. This is coming from Mini Site Content Pilot, okay, and this one's got a couple of things missing that I should have put in here, like calls to action, etc. as well. But if I come back and let's have a look at another one. Okay, what's missing here is we don't have any images in here. That would never happen with the Brian Dean article. Okay, I need to get my team back in here for this site and a couple of others. But this one is actually, I believe, ranking as well as helping to build a topical authority in the site. Okay, so that's Mini Site Content Pilot. Why do we use it? To build that topical authority, to be able to cover topics in depth. But don't forget, topics can have subtopics as well. Okay, so we have got sites where we have got multiple content hubs within the one site. Okay, there's some sites that have got 3, there's some sites, I think there's 1 or 2 that have actually got more than 5 content hubs where we've really tried to cover the topic in a lot of depth. Okay, now all of my stuff that I do is based on internet marketing kind of niche. If you take this into other niches, this is where you can really hit home very, very well. Okay, it's a great opportunity to be able to go into little known niches that have got traffic, but not huge amounts of competition. This is where you can really drive your topical authority to your sites. Okay, so there's got one goal, mini site content pilots, to create these kind of sites. Okay, now this is the old style page. This is like a Brian Dean style page. There is training within the content, the mini site content pilot tutorials page, where I show you a way that we can speed that up using the block editor and being able to pull in the latest content that is assigned to specific sections, etc., and it all sort of comes together without you having to do a lot of the work that you do to make it look like this. Okay, so those are still working. They just look different, but we are automating the things like pulling in the titles, etc., and everything kind of happens automatically when you assign different categories to different sections within the blocks that you're using. Okay, I'm not going to go into that too much deeply because I covered it, I believe, in 2 or 3 webinars. Okay, so that's mini site content pilot. Let's see if we get any questions on that. Okay, not yet. Okay, great. Right, next one, rank mesh. Okay, rank mesh just released. Okay, it's still being improved. Even today, it's still being improved. Okay, I've been working on this morning, and I spent a little bit too much time on this when I could have spent a little bit more on the webinar, but I got so excited with the stuff that I was building in here that I just kept it going. Okay, so we're able to now create some campaign goals. So what I did this morning with this is go into Claude and ask questions about Claude Artifacts optimization, about how we can improve the optimization, how we can get specific prompts for specific types of content. So we're going to be able to do specific types of content within here, but starting with the goal. So I gave it an example of a goal I want from my own journey, and that is I'm creating all these AI built lead magnets in Base 44. Okay, these will be rebrandable tools that I will sell at some point. I think we're doing the first one this week, actually. Okay, but there's still lead magnet tools that can generate leads for me, and anybody who comes in can get pro features if they refer 3 other people. So there's potentially 4 signups for everybody, up to 4 signups for everybody who comes in to use that tool, whoever signs up for these free lead magnet tools. So what I wanted to do was have a campaign sort of keyword and content mapping tool that we could map out a whole bunch of different articles and styles of articles as far as types of articles like listicles and comparisons and stuff like that. Okay, so I would have all these different kinds of articles within the same campaign, but we could manage it from a campaign manager in here. So that's what I've been working on this morning to be able to make this work. Okay, or to make this better, not work. It is already working. Okay, but what this tool is really for is Parasite SEO. Okay, now when you are creating in Claude, let's see if I got one here. Okay, here's one that I created, a landing page that I created. This is for a tool I built a couple of days ago. Okay, if I click on publish the artifact in here, we're going to be able to see it much better. Okay, this is what we were trying to do. Now I'm going to give you a neat strategy to use with this in a second. Okay, what you'll notice is this looks pretty much like a landing page. Okay, it's not just an article, but it is an article. It's just made to look like a landing page because this is the way that Claude has produces these. Okay, it's very, very in depth. And this is this one's actually more like a sales page. Okay, but this is the kind of thing that you can expect to get when you publish on Claude. Here's the strategy that I really want to do. Okay, is because Claude will always tell you that the artifacts are supposed to be temporary and not permanent. Okay, so what I want to do is to be able to generate a list of keywords and content that I want to produce, put them in Claude artifacts, and the ones that are doing really well, we can simply come in here and we can copy the HTML, and you can put this onto your WordPress site. Okay, and it's going to look the same. Okay, it's going to look the same. It's going to load fast because it's HTML, etc. And I can make this really, really fast. Okay, to be able to put content that you know is doing well, ranking, getting traffic, or whatever, into your WordPress site from keywords and from a sort of longer strategy that has multiple pieces of content mapped out. Okay, we call this bottom of funnel. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're generating the content based around longer tail keywords to rank these kind of article landing pages. Okay, with the goal of getting people to click on whatever the CTA is. Okay, a lot of people asking, can I put this in the WordPress site? Yeah, you can. I am linking from here to my WordPress site because it's linking to a sales page, for example. Usually it will be if it's for one of my products that I'm selling. If not, if it's a lead magnet, then I'll send people directly to sign up for the lead magnet. Okay, so these would become mini landing pages for that particular lead magnet. So for example, if I've got the AI bot checker lead magnet that I want to drive traffic to, I might create something like 15 or 20 articles that look like this, that are targeting longer tail keywords, but all have the same call to action to go to the same place. Okay, that can be on your WordPress site sales page, or it can be direct to like a base 44 app like I build, where people just sign up with Google when they get there. Okay, so you can use it in multiple ways like that. Okay, but can we use it in WordPress? Yeah, but wait until you see which ones are doing well. Copy the HTML, put it into your site, make sure that you're using a good quality SEO plugin that can insert things like the schema and stuff like that. Okay, so that we can optimize in WordPress. At that particular point, I'm not sure yet whether I can tell Claude, can I redirect this? I didn't get that far before the webinar started. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask. Probably not, but still, we're able to find out what is working, what is going to be ranking, and then we can send it to WordPress if we want to. Okay, you don't have to, but it could be a good way to do it if you've got some longer term projects. All right, now, once we've created that main article with Rank Mesh, what we want to do is get some backlinks to it. I'll tell you right now, the most effective way to do it is going to be a press release. Okay, I'm not talking about just a press release on PR Log. I'm talking about doing a proper press release campaign for your most important pieces of content. And that means like 200 to 400 links. Why is it important? Because you're getting all those different links from different sites. It increases the number of referring domains, okay, with just one piece of content. Okay, so what we do is what we will be doing with the Rank Mesh 50 articles that we got, we will do a press release for every single one of them. Okay, every single one we will do a press release. I'll probably have to run that again for any that I decide I'm going to put on my website. So on my website, I might have a category about how to optimize for AI, and I might have those articles that are leading to even a subcategory that is leading to my lead magnet for the AI bot checker. I might have another lead magnet that's got within a different category, and I've got maybe 50 articles with 50 press release links going to that. The thing with that is as well, it's really quick if you're doing press releases. Yes, it costs money. It costs money to do press releases, but you can use the PR sneakers. But for this, I would really suggest getting a proper press release campaign. Okay, so you can get that number of referring domains into the sort of backlink profile for your cloud artifacts, and then you're probably going to start to see this indexing really fast, and you should see some rankings. Now, I saw somewhere that for cloud artifacts, about 20% are expected to rank. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm assuming it's coming from somebody who has been, watching and properly testing, etc. So I don't know. I can report back on that, probably not next week, but maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, because we've already got 50 up. But my guess is that I'm going to go back to the drawing board, start again, and have a proper campaign mapped out with the new tool that I've just built into here. I haven't published it yet, so if you got Rank Mesh, you need to wait till I test it. Okay, but once I've got that mapped out properly, then I've got something that I can really take into the territory when I'm going to be spending money on press releases, etc. Okay, now here's an example of some of the kinds of articles. This is a conversation I had with Claude this morning. I just need to scroll up a wee bit here and come to the top to where I can see the articles that have been mapped out. This is what we should have in the tool that I haven't managed to test yet. Okay, so so you can see the keyword and content map, and it's got kind of keyword questions like how to check if my site blocks AI bots, is my website blocking ChatGPT, why is my website not an AI overviews, is answering questions. Then we got X versus Y. Okay, best tool to check AI bot blocking, best robots TXT checker, etc. Listicles, problem solution, comparison style. Okay, that's what I've been building into Rank Mesh this morning. So it's getting better and better and better. It's going to keep improving. And then I'm going to have the team start again, give them 50 articles to do. It took them probably about 6 days to do 50 articles. No, 5 days. They were doing about 13 per day. I thought they were going to get quicker, but they didn't. And they usually want to work quick. So it's just the process of going through the Rank Mesh steps, where it's a workflow where it's extracting entities and keywords from competitors that have got content ranking for the same search intent. Okay, that's the exact words we've used in the prompt in the background, so that we can make sure that we're getting those entities and keywords that are working for other pieces of content that have got the same search intent. Okay, not necessarily the same keywords, but the same search intent. Is a big difference. Okay, so we will probably start again, and then as they're doing them this time, we're just going to hit them with press releases straight away. Okay, to do the press releases, I can use Rank Mesh to write them. Okay, and then there's the other part of Rank Mesh as well, which I haven't used extensively yet, but we have got automated for external posting. So we can do external posting to how many sites right now? Let me just see. Last I looked, it was 24, but it could be a lot more. 30 now. We've got 30 sites. We can't automate posting to all 30 sites, but I don't think that we need to be honest. I think you can choose half of them and it's going to be good enough. And I think sometimes if you build a bit of diversity, and there was some have got, some websites linking to them from pieces of content that are created with this tool, then automated, maybe 15 or so, then have a mixture of what 15 or 20 you're going to use for each campaign. I think it's not a bad thing to kind of mix it up. And we can always run this again unlimited times as much as we want as well. Okay, so Rank Mesh is basically a parasite SEO tool. Okay, but with the caveat that you can find what's ranking, you can use the parasite SEO platform to test, and then you can put it onto your own website as well. if you want to. Okay, and then we got things like we were being asked yesterday about the content hubs. Okay, content hub, it's now called topical authority clusters. Okay, at first it was calling these pages content hubs. Okay, so what was it doing? Basically, it was creating like up to, I think, 10 articles on a one page. Okay, and you download the HTML, and then you can put it in something like Netlify. Okay, we've got another webinar coming up next week for Rank Mesh. Okay, we've got a part 2 still to do. I'm going to save the details and the steps for that webinar that we're going to do. Okay, and that webinar is open to all, to be able to see the process and see exactly the sort of thought process behind this and how it all works. Okay, now even those topical authority cluster pages that we can create up to 10 of them per campaign with up to 10 articles in each. Okay, these are used to backlink. Okay, these are used to backlink your main article, the one that we would do in Claude, for example. Okay, and that way we're getting backlinks from websites that have got good domain authority. Okay, for one of a better term. Okay, we know that Google doesn't, take much notice of Moz domain authority or Ahrefs domain rating, etc., but they're good indicators. And so we're getting these backlinks from other high domain authority sites into our main article as well. Now, the 50 that we've done so far, we haven't done any backlinking at all. I've just been getting to produce the articles. And the next step would be press release. Then it would be probably these support hubs next, or one-page content hubs next, and then I would do the external posting. I might even do external posting in a tiered linking strategy, where it's linking instead of to the main article, but to these content hubs, if I'm happy with the content hubs, but I want to take them further as well before I even do that. Okay, so that's basically Rank Mesh. Anybody got any questions about mini-site content pilot or Rank Mesh? How would they work together? Okay, so mini-site content pilot, build topical authority in your own site. What you can do is Rank Mesh, find the sort of landing page articles that are ranking, that are driving traffic, that are getting impressions even for the keywords and the topics, etc. Then you can copy and paste the HTML, put it into your own site. Okay, that's one way that they could work together. Let's see. Okay, sorry to explain parasite question 2. So that Q2 question 2, where's question 2? Help my client who's a Shopify online mushroom supplement store, so it can give a short explanation of how. Well, I just kind of explained that. What we're going to be able to do here with the new project manager that I've just built is we're going to be able to put in the information about what we're trying to do. Okay, and you're going to put in other things as well that will help the AI to generate content. So things for like a Shopify store, if you got customer reviews, you could put them into that project manager campaign as well. And then the AI is going to help you to get ideas for the types of articles, just like I showed you that I'm going to do for my lead magnets. It still works the same way. It doesn't matter what your main project is, if it's to rank a Shopify store, if it's to send people to sign up for a lead magnet, it's still going to map out a keyword and content map for you with the different types of articles. So there would be X versus Y comparisons, there would be listicles, there would be those things that I just showed you, just applying to your specific project. Okay, that's how it will work. So you can use that to drive traffic, but it's all based on long tail keywords. Okay, it's all based on long tail keywords so that we can get traffic, and so that we can use that traffic to divert them then to your Shopify store or to your lead magnet or wherever it might be. Okay. Let's see where we are now. Let's come back into the document here already. So what we do for our own site, and I think we got this in the launch jacking site that I just mentioned. We've got the content hubs, okay? We also do listicles. Let's see if I've got a listicle example here. Launch jacking affiliate. Okay, so here, this is what we call an RLL listicle. Okay, it's got 101 different items within the listicle. Okay, 101. I've got some work to do on this site. I should have that been able to hide. I should be using a different plugin for the table of contents. But as we go through this, you can see this is very, very in-depth. Okay, and it's got all these different items within this particular listicle. This one doesn't look so good because it doesn't have any images yet. Let me see if I've got one that's actually got some images. I should have one somewhere that's got images. Bear with me. Here's the Thailand one. Okay. This is 101 reasons to live and work in Thailand. Okay, so this site is not optimized yet. And this has been sitting here for quite a while. We've just moved about different projects. But this is a good example of what it can look like. Okay, what we've done as well with the template that we got for the mini site content pilot, we've added audio on here. So it can read through this. It's just adding that extra bit of media content that can keep people onto your page longer. Okay, if they're sort of listening to that, it means that they're going to be on your page longer. But as we go through this, you can see we got images that actually fit the content. Okay, these images come from napkin.ai. Okay, I think you can get an account there for $8 a month or something. I'm paying about $30 because we're using it a lot. So I've got one of the sort of higher tier plans for that because we really do use it a lot. But these images we put through and it makes this look much, much better. So there's 100 items in here and there's a lot of images that are in here as well to make it look much better. Okay. I need to check the SEO on this site because this page is not ranking and I don't know if it's because we haven't done proper SEO settings. We need some backlinks or whatever. But it does need a little bit of work on the site. But this is a good example of what it looks like. Now, normally in a site, what I will do if it's a really important site, and we're talking about building what I would term mini sites, okay, we'd have a content hub, it would have a few of these kind of listicles, okay, and it would also have X versus Y type of articles, okay. So in this case, it could be Thailand versus Vietnam, which is better value for expats to live in or something like that. Those kind of articles where you got the X versus Y, and there's tons of those opportunities or ideas when you're doing a sort of content map for a website. Okay, what you do need to be able to do this correctly or to do this properly is to have a little team. And all I did is I just hired a couple of kids. One is my girlfriend's daughter and her boyfriend, taught them how to do stuff. And as they learned to do stuff and they got faster at it, I kept them at it long enough, sometimes a little bit too long, on the same tasks until they really understood it all inside out. Okay, they understand it even better than me now, how to use some of these softwares. Okay, and then I move them on to the next thing, whether it's a new tool or a different kind of content or doing a newsletter or whatever. And I just keep them at it, and I keep them there long enough that they really understand. So if I say to them in 6 months, we need to build a content hub for this new mini site that I'm building that is based around an affiliate program, an affiliate offer for a high ticket affiliate product that I want to rank for and I want to drive traffic to, they would know exactly how to do that. They've done it so many times that you know how to do it. I don't know how many content hubs they've built. I think the last time I looked, it was probably about 60, and they built them all. Okay, so and the newsletters as well. trained them to do that. I don't know how many newsletters they've done. They were doing 6 a week for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm guessing it must be 100 or more newsletter editions. So if I said to them in 7 months, go and do newsletters for the rest of the week, here's the YouTube playlist that we're going to use to be able to do YouTube curated newsletter, or here's the Twitter bookmarks for a Twitter version. They would know how to do it months later because they've done it so many times repetitively. Okay, so having a little team can help you, but it doesn't have to cost huge amounts of money. Okay, but the key is that you need to check them at first, you need to show them at first, and then you let them just go ahead and start creating. Okay, I like to keep them longer on a task so that they will really understand that task. So if I do ask them later to go and do it, they can do it. But you don't need to hire 2 people like I do for X amount of hours per week. You can go to places on Black Hat World. I saw one the other day where they've got virtual assistants from $2.50 per hour. Now that's 10 hours work. Could you get a content hub done in that time? Yes. Could you get rank mesh campaigns done in that time? Yes. Could you get the rank mesh account creation done in that time for the external posting sites? Yes. Could you get them to do a whole bunch of press releases ready to release with PR sneakers, for example? Yes, you could. And it's just a matter of prioritizing what you want to get done. Okay. I used to, when I first started to use VAs, they would finish a task and they'd come and say, I finished that now. And I'd be like stuck thinking, what can I give them to do? And I ended up, most of the time just giving them stuff to do that was not that important. But if you map it out based on the tools that you have got, okay, you can just make sure that you're always giving them something to do to get content on the internet, because without putting content on the internet, you cannot make money from internet marketing. Okay, it all starts with content. Ideally, it's going to be high quality content, but it all starts with content. Okay, so although I'm mentioning what we're doing here, the content hubs, the listicles, the comparison articles, etc., sending press release backlinks and all that kind of stuff, it sounds like a lot of work, but if you teach people to do it for you, they will do it for you, and you can rely on them to run those campaigns. Okay, let's see if we've got some other examples here. I know I was looking at some examples. So this is an example of a mini listicle. Okay, this one here. 17 tips for top 17 affiliate marketing tools. And again, we're using the Napkin AI in here. And that's from the mini site listicle builder. Okay. These kind of articles can rank really well. Okay. I think the key for this is knowing what the topics are going to be for each article. Okay, we kind of need AI to help with that. Okay, it's kind of important that we've got cats fighting outside. It's important to understand what people are actually searching for. Okay, and if you can create the content based around that, then these become really fast and easy to do. Okay, these are not 101 and not what we call really long listicles. Okay, RLL listicles. These are mini listicles that can be top 10, top 17, something like that. It's nowhere near 100. But if you get them right, as far as the content or the topic that you're doing them on, then it can be really, really good, good for driving traffic. And you can build a lot of them. You could build a whole website just with this stuff, which is probably a quick and fast way to do it if you've got the tool to automate it. Okay, so Mini Listicle Builder does these and it does it quite well. Okay, let's come back in here. See more questions. Okay, so we've done Rank Mesh, we've done Magic Affiliate Commando, Mini Listicle Builder, shown an example of that. Mini Site Content Pilot, we've done that now. Channel Content Pilot. Okay, now this is also a Parasite SEO tool, but it's different because it's posting into either Medium or Google Sites. Which one ranks better? Medium. Okay. Which one is better for topical authority? Google Sites. Why? Because in one Google site, you can put in multiple articles. With Medium, you're doing within one account, multiple articles, but it's not the same as having one site under one subdomain, or even you can put a custom domain into Google Sites. It was built for Google Sites, okay? And what we're doing there is we're basically tapping into other people's expertise. I use this strategy a lot. I use it for a lot more than what I'm actually showing you, or what you've seen, I should say. Okay, and the strategy, main strategy, is taking the expertise of other people on YouTube, getting the transcripts, transforming it into articles. Okay, Channel Content Pilot, what it can do is take content from one channel. You can take 10 videos, 20 videos, I think up to 50 videos, and you can create a whole Google site based on the transcripts of those 10, 20, or 50 videos that you've grabbed the transcripts from, and it will write the content and it will publish it into a singular Google site. Or if you wanted to do, one article, one site per one article, you could do that as well. But I would suggest, instead of doing that, then to use Medium for that kind of approach, okay? Which is why I did Medium into the tool. It was originally just a Google Sites tool, but when I looked at the opportunities for the strategy, where you could post one article from one video into one new Google site, it would automate this posting into creating the Google site, etc. I thought to myself, well, this would be better if it's done in Medium for that kind of strategy, because Medium will rank better. Okay. If you're using the Google sites, it is going to need backlinks. It doesn't rank as well as what LinkedIn does. It doesn't rank as well as what Medium does. But you can build something long term if you send backlinks and get it ranking. But just be clear about your goal that you want with that particular site. The best ways to use that, in my opinion, would be if you want to drive people to an affiliate offer. Could work really, really well. Okay. I saw one guy on, we had a Google Sites poster tool before we built a few years ago with a previous developer that I used to work with. And I built that tool when I saw, I was doing some research about the ClickFunnels affiliate program. Okay, I was reading that some people are making, 6 figures per month just promoting that one product. And when I started to do some reverse engineering, when I started to use Ahrefs and SEMrush and looking at stuff, I came across this website, but it was a Google site, and he was ranking for hundreds of ClickFunnels keywords, hundreds, literally. He had one site where he had lots and lots and lots of articles, okay, and he was ranking for hundreds of keywords. Don't forget, if you're targeting a specific sort of subtopic or keyword and it gets ranking, you're probably ranking for a lot of other related keywords as well. Okay, so when I came across it and I started to look at his Google site, I thought, okay, we could automate this. And that's what we started to do at that particular time. It was a desktop tool. But there was problems with it because it was unreliable for posting and all that kind of stuff. It's still there, but probably still works. But this Channel Content Pilot is much, much better, because we don't have to think about what content to write. We've got the AI now that can take transcripts and turn it into articles that are very, very good quality. And then we've got the automation of being able to post into Google Sites via a Chrome extension that kind of that works as a bridge between the web app and the Google site, so that we can post in there. That means that we can build around specific offers. Okay, it would be great, again, not just for affiliate marketing, not just for internet marketing types of products. There's huge amounts of niches out there, absolutely huge amounts. And there are some niches that are basically untapped, that if you can find them, it could work really well. Okay. What you can also do is to have a look at have a look on YouTube for, or even in social media where people are talking about this, is when people are using faceless YouTube channels. Okay, some of those guys are really creative with the different sort of niches they are targeting and sub niches that they are targeting. Some of them are finding niches that are literally untapped, and they're driving thousands of video views. If you have a way to be able to see what topics they are targeting and what they're coming up with, and there's people that are actually checking for that if you follow them on social media, you can get some good ideas for the Google sites as well. Okay, some of them, not all of them, would fit into a kind of written format of content that you could use for affiliate marketing or whatever else you wanted to do, even if you were just creating some websites for the purpose of AdSense and Mediavine kind of revenue, then it could work. Okay, so let me see where we were. Okay, there was something else I had open I wanted to show, but I can't remember where it was. Okay, let's see if we get any more questions in a second. Okay, so we've done mini site, we've done Magic Affiliate. Oh, we haven't done, well, Magic Affiliate is the one that does the really long listicles. It also does the X versus Y. Okay, it doesn't do the mini listicles. I felt it was getting too complicated and complex at that time for that particular tool. It's a big old tool, that one, but it does these really well. Okay, it does them really well for the long listicles and the X versus Y. Okay, so mini site listicle builder, rank mesh, channel content pilot. So how would these work together? Okay, well, I would, if I was pressed to put this into one cohesive strategy, just these first 5 tools here, I'd be using the mini site content pilot for mini sites, literally for mini sites, just sites that are built around one specific topic. Okay, plus I'd be using Magic Affiliate Commando to put more content onto that same site. That's the listicles and the X versus Y. I would use the mini listicle builder. And if I really wanted, I mean, seriously, really wanted to go after something, and I should really do this for sort of high ticket affiliate offers, then I would probably be using, at least one content hub from mini site content pilot. I'd be using probably about 30 to 40 X versus Y comparisons. Okay, so it's kind of growing at a mini site, but I call it mini site because everything here is quick and easy to use as well, as far as, once you get used to it. And I would also be doing those long listicles, probably, I don't know, if it was something really serious I wanted to go after, probably 5 to 10 of those. And then I'd be doing the mini listicles, probably 20, 30, maybe even 50 of those. Okay, if we just focused on that for the whole week, we could probably get through that as far as what my team can now do. Okay, rank mesh, how would that fit into the flow? Well, basically, if you are building those landing pages and you're finding which ones rank, you can then put them into your site so that it's not on Claude. It doesn't get deleted later. I might even put onto LinkedIn instead of Claude, and because LinkedIn ranks really well. I did not a case study. I was reverse engineering some stuff for a previous tool that we built that's still working now. It's called Parasite SEO Pro. We were building more advanced tools in that particular software. It's a desktop tool built by a different developer. But what we were doing is being able to go and search for the different user-generated content sites that were ranking for specific topics and keywords. And I started to notice that LinkedIn was being used by people to rank for high-ticket affiliate stuff. Like, I'm talking number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It's like some of these high-ticket products, it was getting dominated by Parasite SEO, and you'd probably find 2 or 3 LinkedIn articles all competing with each other in the top 5 kind of thing. So LinkedIn can do really well with that. Okay, so you don't have to post into Claude Artifacts. I'm going to stick with the Claude Artifacts for now, but I will get my team to start doing as well some posting into LinkedIn as the main article as well, probably from some point next week or the week after. What I also want to build into this as well for rank mesh is what we could do as well, is to create LinkedIn newsletters. Okay, those could do really well for driving traffic within that particular platform. So that's another thing that we can add into Rank Mesh. Okay, how would I use it together with the mini site? Well, it would be around the same topic. So you're just expanding the content that you're putting on the internet. You're just saturating. Okay, it's just kind of relentless saturation where you're doing content hubs, long listicles, mini listicles, X versus Y, different comparisons. And then you've got the parasite SEO kicking in as well. You're starting to saturate that particular topic so that you can drive more traffic, okay, to whatever that end goal is, whether it's to an affiliate offer or one of your products or services or a Shopify store, okay. Channel content pilot, well, that basically fits in very, very similar in the sense that you're building a mini site, but this time in Google Sites, it's just more saturation. So if you're doing it around the one topic, you might find yourself competing with yourself with your Google Sites and with your WordPress site and with the Rank Mesh stuff that you're doing. But that's okay as long as it's your own content. It doesn't matter. Okay, so as long as it's your content, not somebody else's, then it's good. Okay, let's see if we got some questions. Russ says, do you know if I remove the outro at the end of a notebook LM video, then post the video on YouTube and Facebook, would that be against Google Terms of Service? No. If you take the video and you put it into a video editor, and you remove an outro, and you can even just put in an image with a call to action at the end, within the video editor, you can put images in there where you still got some voice or some voiceover or something, then it's fine. I wouldn't see any problem with that. Saying that, we need to update that CopyVid tool as well, which can help you with that kind of stuff. Notebook LM is interesting, and they keep improving it, and it's kind of, to me, it's unexpected. I'm not watching closely, and like people like Julian Goldie, for example, are watching really closely every single development with AI for marketing and stuff. The different versions of AI models coming out, the things like the Notebook LM kind of updates, Gemini 3. Well, Julian's watching a huge amount of stuff. He must have some people just, tracking that kind of stuff, or some way to track that kind of stuff. Saying that, there's something pretty cool. Let me see if I can find it. I think I got it on my phone. Let me just see. A new way to do social listening. Okay, easy way to do social listening. Probably the easiest way possible to do social listening. Let me just see if I can find it. Just the URL. Okay, so let's go to perplexity.ai /account/tasks. I think that's the correct URL. Even this one, I think we'll do. Yeah, perfect. Okay, this is a super simple way to do social listening. Let me just try that without the. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'll put this link in the chat. This is pretty cool. So you can put in, it's like Google Alerts, but it's AI digging deep into a topic and doing research on the internet and finding stuff and sending you an email. You can get them to send it to you weekly or daily or something like that. So you could put in here anything that you want to keep a track of. So for example, if I want to keep a track of, I can put in here, for example, notify me of the latest high ticket product launches happening, coming up, and what people are chatting about online, something like that. Okay. I'm laughing at my typo. Okay, and you can click on this and you can set up an alert so that you get notified. So you can see here, you can create a space for it or non-selected. You can schedule for daily at a specific time. You can specify if you want it to end in a certain date, and you can basically tell it the notification platform. So in the app, you can get notified by email, you can get notified, and by mobile if you're connected, mobile phone probably, if you've got the Perplexity app installed on your phone, and click on save. Okay, now if you do that, you can do things like track Twitter for people who are talking about AI SEO, for example, and send me information daily about any new methods or case studies, stuff like that. So you actually got a social listening system just emailing you all the time. I started to use this, and it's pretty good. It's really, really good. It gives you those updates. It will tell you. I was tracking, for example, I think it was the AppSumo one? Yeah. Summarized AppSumo deals released in the last 3 weeks for marketing software and products, including lifetime deals. Give a summary of reviews, etc., and click on save it, and it will start emailing you daily or weekly, whatever you want. Okay, so it can do that kind of stuff for you as well, and just keep you in the loop on specific topics that you want to be in the loop on, and just get it delivered to you, which is very, very cool. All right. Yeah, the idea is good. Yeah, the social listening was kind of overwhelming. The initial setup is what's needed for that system that I had, but this is quicker and easier. So it's better. You get it delivered to you, and you don't have to think about it. All right. So the last one was local traffic commander. Now, look, local traffic commander. Let me just go in here. I need to open this up. Okay, let me go in here. This was the very first software I ever built, was Local Traffic Commander. It was a WordPress plugin at that time. And I wanted to revisit this last year and redo it when I started to learn how to build no-code tools. And so what it will do is it will create literally hundreds of pages for you. Like it's a mass page builder. It's not the way that I would use it. Okay, it's not the way that I would use it. I'm still creating hundreds of pages, but not in the way that we did then, and not in the way that other people tend to do. Okay, I notice a lot of people now doing like programmatic SEO, so they're doing that within a context of having large amounts of data that they got from somewhere, using a software that can create, multiple pages. Like you could have a website called whatdobirds.eat.com and have a list of all, a list of maybe 500 different types of birds and what kind of food they eat. And they would have this programmatic SEO kind of thing where it would be maybe within a spreadsheet where they would have the name of the bird and what they eat, and they would upload the spreadsheet with all this mass amount of data wherever they get it from. I don't know where they get it from. And then, the software they got, we create these what we call programmatic SEO pages. That is kind of a more advanced way of doing what we were doing initially with the mass page building. When I first built Local Traffic Commander, I think it was 2011. This worked really well, but we were using spin tags. And so we would just have, things like best dentist and London best dentist and Chicago best dentist, whatever, or you would do it within that particular region. And you would do all these different variations, best dentist, top dentist, 24-hour dentist, emergency dentist, like that. So you create hundreds of pages, but the content itself, it was all the same except for spin tags. Okay, it was pretty shit. It was not great content, but you would get rankings. You would get tons of rankings. I think there's still probably a thread on the Warrior forum for that original version where some guy put in the case study, and he was ranking for, I can't remember, it was hundreds of keywords using that. That was back in the day when you could do things like that. Today is different. It's completely different. So I wanted to build Local Traffic Commander for 24 or 25. I can't remember when we built this. And every piece of content needs to be unique. Okay. And what we can do differently now with a tool like this is we can create mini campaigns. So instead of having like 1,000 posts, which all got the same content with just some spin tags and all these different variations, what we can do is we can get very granular with the mini campaigns. So if we wanted to target something like dentists, we can create content that is relevant to dentistry, that people might be asking, like frequently asked questions around one specific topic of that dentist services. Okay, it could be for teeth whitening, could be for I forgot the names, forgot the terms of some stuff where you put the things in. I forgot the names, but you could just do all those different like mini campaigns where you could create ideally, you know, about 20, 30, maybe even 50 articles around that particular topic. So again, it's kind of like a rank mesh approach that I've just described that we're adding into rank mesh today, where we're going to have things like the FAQs, where we're going to have the X versus Y, where we're going to have the sort of listicle kind of stuff. It's kind of similar to that, where you can go that granular, so you can dig right into a topic, but you can still be doing the local targeting as well. Okay, you can still be doing the local targeting as well. So if I come into the content generator here, let's see. It's been a while since I used this one. Let's see if I can go to a campaign that's already there and I can go into the edits. It's going to be easier for me. Okay, if I click on edit the campaign, this one is kind of filled. Basic settings, keywords and modifiers. Okay, so how this works is you got 4 fields where you're going to put in things like keywords and modifiers. Okay, and this doesn't have to be really extensive when it comes to things like locations, but here's how it works. Whatever number of modifiers and service types and locations and end modifiers, that will tell you how many articles that you're going to build. So this one has got what, 4? 4 front-end modifiers and 2 service types. That would be 4 times 2 for the amount of different combinations that you could do. For example, expert-led AI marketing workshops, expert-led AI digital marketing events. Okay, then it would go professional AI marketing workshops, professional AI digital marketing events, etc., etc. So that would be 4 times 2 would be it. Then if you multiply that by locations, it becomes 16. Okay. Then you multiply it by the end modifiers, that then becomes 32 because we've got 2 and 2. Okay, that's how this works, and that's how you can cover extensively these sort of local campaigns. Okay, I think we need to go into the content generator. It's going to be easier for me to explain this. If I click on a new campaign, just see. Okay, this is the only local one I've got. I'm just going to have to go with this one. So we can choose in here the title generation method. You can do keyword based, which is the modifiers like I just showed you, or you can use custom titles. Okay, this is where we can get really granular with those kind of X versus Y and listicles and all that kind of stuff. You can put those in there if you choose. I'll stick to the modifiers, etc. for now. AI provider, AI model, just leave it as it is. Okay, business type. I'll put in here digital marketing agency, AI automation marketing agency, something like that. Okay, let's put in one more, AI shops, and local AI marketing workshops. Okay, target audience. I've got some already here. Let me just click on that again so I get as many in as I can. Yeah, I'll stick to this one. Okay. So small business coaches, consultants. Okay, there's only 3 there. Services offered. I'll take from here. It's good when I can copy and paste it, less chance of a typo. There we go. We can put one per line in here. And I'll take this one as well. Okay, so we've got a couple of these. Location types. Okay, so you can do like states and provinces, etc. For me, I'll put in here Thailand. State, province, it's chosen for me. Now I can generate the keywords, etc. It's got some advanced options as well in here. So you can put in a default video if you've got a sales video, etc. Calls to action, etc. I'll skip that for now, just for a quick demo. So we start to generate. Now you can use this for affiliate marketing as well. Okay, you can use it, because the only thing is you're adding a location if you choose to use the location. But those 4 fields that we have got, okay, those 4 fields for the front end modifier, the end modifier, and the main keywords is the second one, and the third one is the location. Well, you can choose to use the location if it fits into an affiliate marketing context. Okay, so you could have something like, what is the best fitness gyms and what is the best fitness equipment for beginners in Kentucky or something like that. You could do it like that. Okay, as long as you got an affiliate offer that's going to fit. An affiliate offer can fit if it, if you're targeting United States and you're promoting an Amazon product, it will work. It doesn't matter. You're just regionalizing the targeting that you're doing. Okay, but you can do it in hundreds of pages kind of thing, thousands of pages if you wanted to. So anyway, so this is created for me AI and location generator. Okay, and I can tell this is I can tell if this is suitable or not. I can get rid of some of these if I want. Okay, or I can keep them as it is. Now right now we'll do up to 10 of each, so that would be 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 is 1,000. I don't want 1,000 posts. I really don't. I'd rather do sort of micro campaigns that are specific, and do maybe 20, 30, maybe even up to 50 for a specific sort of subtopic. Now I need to generate locations separately. So I click on this button. Okay, and this, I can tell you, is correct as far as local stuff. Okay, now I've done that, I can come up and go to the content. Okay, and what I can do, I'm going to come back. I'll click on this one more time. I think I skipped a step here. It's been a while since I used this. Okay, generate my locations. Okay, I've got to click on this button here to apply all keywords. Okay, that's what I missed. Right, so now that's applied, I can go to the next step, step 2. And this has already been filled in. This is where I can change anything if I want to. Okay, and then we got things called templates. That is going to put the content in for the article. Okay, and these modifiers then fit into the template. Okay, that fits into the content. So if I click here to generate a template, it's going to take into consideration all of these, and it's going to fit them in with shortcodes, which you can see up here. These are the shortcodes. The AI does all this for you, and you can change any of this that you want, but this is going to be an article or a series of articles where this kind of stuff fits in. Okay, so we could have, for example, let's see, customized marketing strategy consulting patio for small businesses, something like that. And you would have different variations of this, and it would just do all these different pages. So if you apply the templates, then you can do that with AI, and everything is there. You can do some editing still if you want to. You can read what it looks like and change anything that you want to. And then once we got that, let me see if there's not another save button or something here. Let's see, then we would go to the step 3. And then we can either do voice typing in here, which could be good if you were coming out of a meeting with the business and you wanted to run a quick campaign, you can just do it by voice in here. You can put in business description, target locations, etc. with the voice generator. Okay. Otherwise, we can go into the preview and generate. Okay, so this would generate 10,000 posts. Okay, I'm not going to make 10,000 posts, and it will give you a sample of what they're going to look like cutting edge AI marketing automation in Patia for small businesses, etc. Okay, and then you can just generate the content. This is good because you can use it for the mini campaigns, like I mentioned, like multiple mini campaigns. What I would do though with this, because it posts into WordPress and you can add as many WordPress sites as you want, this would definitely be mini sites. Okay, I would not put this on a main site ever. Okay, this kind of content on a main site could be really dangerous because, you know, Google or even LLMs might think this is really spammy. I'm not, you know, citing that. I'm not going to rank that. You know, just hundreds or thousands of pages on the main website. It just don't do it. Okay, what you would do with this is get a keyword rich domain. Okay, so you would have something like best local dentist in whatever area. Okay, that domain is probably gone, but you get what I mean. You would have a keyword rich domain and make these mini sites on a keyword rich domain. You could have a series of them. Okay, and you can run this pretty quickly actually to get through a campaign with this, so that you've got all these different mini sites that can then be linking back to your main website. Okay, but you're not going to generate thousands of pages on your main website or your client's website. That would be too much trouble. Okay, that's local traffic commando. How does that fit in with the other tools? Well, it depends if you're doing local, but you can also do it for affiliate marketing as well if you wanted to. You don't have to put a location where it says locations. Okay, you can choose to put in extra keywords, like if it's an affiliate offer, I might have best software for webinar promotions, free trial, something like that. You could have those kind of, you don't have to use locations is what I'm saying. Even if the AI generates, that's okay, because it's only generated in that specific field where it's got the modifiers or where it's got the locations. You can just delete all that and put in different words in there, or get ChatGPT to help you, which is going to be even quicker to be able to do for the whole thing, for those fields. And then you can get the software to post. So it can be used for multiple things. Okay, so that's basically local traffic commando. Okay, I think I've gone through the ones that I mentioned. Okay, what I want to do is a part two. Okay, part two, we'll get into more strategy stuff. Okay, tool strategies and how and when to use the tools. Okay, what I will do is map out different strategies for each of the tools, and we can go through some of them. If I've got some examples ready, then great. If I don't get time to get them done, if the team don't get time to get them done, then we can, I don't want to say I'll do another webinar, but we will cover whatever the strategy was. Okay, but some of this stuff we've already built. I know that we've already built, but some other strategies are probably, as I start thinking about how to do that part two of the webinar, when I start to map that part two of the webinar, I'll probably do some little tweaks and updates to these tools that I've got and that I'm working with to be able to do that. Okay, so that I can give you the how and the where, you know, strategies that you can use, whether it's for affiliate marketing or whatever it might be. Okay, let's see. Russ, the local traffic commando goes post into WordPress, and not into Google Sites. I could try to post it into Google Sites. No, I can't. It doesn't have an API. Google Sites doesn't have an API, which is why we'd use the Chrome extension. Chrome extension can take and paste. It does a copy paste kind of thing in formatting. Local traffic commando, I can't remember what I did ask Stephanie to put links into the WhatsApp group. I'll put a document into the WhatsApp group with links. I'll make sure that we've got those links for all of these tools. And if you want to go and check out the sales pages and prices and stuff, you can do that. Okay. And there's more I can do with Local Traffic Commando as well. We can put things like maps and locations and stuff like that in there. I just really rebuilt it with curiosity to begin with, what it would look like today with AI, because it was the first tool that I built, and how we could do stuff better. But there's more we can do for it, especially for local. So things like maps and stuff we can easily put in here. All right, so I think that's all I got right now. Does this make things a little bit clearer for you? Okay, they're not really designed all to work together, but we will use them sometimes, all in the same project campaign. Just, to me, it's about getting content out that can drive more traffic to offers, okay, or get people to sign up for newsletter or email list or whatever. Know what your goal is first, and then ask yourself the question, what can I, how can I run a campaign using this tool for that purpose? Okay. But they were never really designed to be in a workflow. I didn't have it mapped out to be in a workflow. It's just stuff I needed along the way for myself, apart from Local Traffic Commando, which was more curiosity to begin with, but it's a very good tool. Very, very good tool. Okay. Are the WordPress sites paid sites? Your own domains? Yeah, your own domains. But you can buy domains for 98 cents. If you buy .online or .sites, you can get for 98 cents. Test them for a year. You got them for a whole year. Test it for a year for 98 cents. If they're driving traffic, then when the time comes to renew in a year's time, you don't mind spending the $10 or whatever it costs for that renewal if it's driving new traffic. The only question you have is $10 worth it for that amount of traffic I'm getting from that site? Sure. Just repurchase for the next year. Okay, that's all I got right now. So now that we got this, I can get the transcript from this, okay, and I can put it into ChatGPT, and I can get ChatGPT to help write a prompt that we can use maybe for Gemini or another AI image generation tool. A notebook LM Benjamin mentioned as well. We'll put a transcript in there, see if we can get a good quality infographic from it, then we can have that. Okay, that was kind of the purpose. Okay. So rather than me write it all out, sometimes I'm just more comfortable to jump on a live stream and try and explain it. And that's where we are. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. I'll see you. The next live session is going to be Rank Mesh Part 2. And then if I can't remember what's coming after that. We got a few lined up, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. But we got Rank Mesh Part 2, and we will do a Part 2 of this one as well for the strategies. Okay, so that'll probably be in 10 to 14 days for that. Okay, thanks.